So I haven't done much since last week. I actually hadn't done much, I hadn't done anything doll until yesterday when I started thinking, hey, tomorrow's video day, I should have something to show. I mean, I know whenever I have absolutely nothing, I can always fall back on a room tour video, but I think I would like to fall back on that when there's lovely natural sunlight out today, which that's not happening today. So that's my excuse for not doing the room video today. And so I decided yesterday that I would finally sew clothes for the doll that everybody started calling Buff Grandpa. He had been sitting in my to-do pile for a while, and I'd forgotten, so long that I'd forgotten why I hadn't just put clothes on him. So I thought that I must have decided that he has kind of a folktale woodsman look to him. So I thought, well, I must have decided I was going to make some fantasy folktale style clothes for him. And so I decided yesterday I would do that. And I went over and I dug through my big pile of cloth, and I found cloth that inspired me to make this. This is obviously not Buff Grandpa, this is Ulsica. But some of the cloth I got from that doll person who had the big D-stash a few months ago was several quarter-yard lengths of rayon, probably 4. And 3 of them were the same design, just in different colors, and then the 4th one was this. So I decided I would, I got completely distracted from sewing clothes for Buff Grandpa, so I decided I would make this a dress for 60cm doll, and I would use as much of that quarter-yard of this cloth as I could. And since rayon is the fabric of the 90s, I decided I would make it just a vaguely 90s style. It's not exactly baby doll style. Baby doll would have had a higher waist, but there were a lot of just, I don't even know what you call this style of outfit, with the shapeless top, the slightly high waist with no shaping. I said shapeless, and then the skirt, ruffle at the bottom optional. So I decided to make this for her, and she is wearing some bloomers from Modesty that match somewhat well. The chartreuse at least matches, even though this is spider webs and this is just kind of white. But part of the reason I got distracted trying to remember what this kind of dress is called is because it's like I can pull this pattern out right here. See the kid in the middle? She's wearing it. It just says high-waisted, loose-fitting dress or jumpsuit which can be worn buttoned up the front or back. The bodice designed with ample space to accommodate embroidery patterns. Patterns includes patterns for the clothing only. Anyway, I didn't expect her to stand like this, so I keep expecting her to fall on me. I don't know if there's a line drawing of the dress on here. It'll give you a little better idea. So it's definitely a line drawing right there. So this is, yes, a very, very 90s shape. I mean, I don't see a date on this, but it's super 90s. I might have another one I can grab. This one. You see, there were a lot of time there would be buttons up the front, which I wanted to make this fast, since I really did intend to make something for Buff Grandpa after making this. But as it's the 90s, I went ahead and I found some knit in roughly coordinated, again it's the chartreuse and black. I made her some socks so I could put the big stompy fake docks on her. Because if you're wearing 90s clothes, you need stompy shoes. Yes, I know the boot wings aren't really 90s, I just didn't feel like taking them off. So I have not taken proper pictures of her yet. I did take one joke picture of Buff Grandpa giving her a really dirty look while she's sitting there in this dress and he's sitting next to her behind her naked. So I sewed that, and then I went back to Buff Grandpa and I said, I really don't want to sew an entire fantasy outfit for him right now, though I do think he does have that woodsman fantasy potential look to him. So I got into my bag of unused Ken size clothes. You know, I do have a lot of, mainly in here, a lot of guy dolls who are fully dressed. So I got in the bag of other clothes and I put out the jeans that I'd made that were in there, and I found a shirt that I made a long time ago for action figure dudes that would fit Buff Grandpa's broad shoulders, and then I got out a cardigan, which technically it's from Love to Knit Doll Clothes. You know, I've gotten a lot of stuff from that seller on Etsy and eBay before, and technically the cardigan is supposed to be bulky on Barbie, so it's broad enough to fit shoulders on Ken's, but it's about an inch short on the sleeves. But still, I put that over the long sleeve shirt and like rolled up the cuffs of the long sleeve shirt, trying to kind of hide the fact that it's not long enough. And then I went to put the jeans on him and they would not fit over his thighs, his Buff Grandpa thighs. It was like, oh yeah, I made these jeans for Lip Jake. A little thinner than that kind of bulkier, older gymnast articulated Ken body. So I dug through the bag of Ken clothes looking for another pair of jeans, and all the other pants that were still in there were way too short, even though a lot of them were also way too wide. But wide can be pinned out or tied up in the waist up under the shirt so you never see how big it is on the doll. But short, I mean, short can kind of be compensated for. You can roll the pants up, cuff it a little more, and then put on like big bulky socks and really tall like Doc Marten style boots, and that can kind of make an excuse for short pants on a Ken. But that's not the look I wanted for Buff Grandpa. So last night before bed I cut out the jeans and then I sewed them today. So here is Buff Grandpa finally fully clothed, so I can get him at least off of the pile of projects, which at this point is just mostly a pile of stuff that needs to be put away, so that's good. And I did do the 5-pocket jean detail. I made quite a few mistakes that I'm not going to point out here because if I don't talk about them, they probably won't be noticed. I do still need to go through and put a snap at the top of the Velcro fly. But again, as long as his shirt's untucked, no one's going to notice how bad they fit. So obviously, since I just finished this, I have not taken a photo of him yet. But I did get the pants are loose enough. He's actually wearing a fairly bulky pair of socks. There's some older actual Ken socks that come really tall on his legs, but the pants fit over them. And I do want to point out that there is a tiny bit of blue on these shoes, so they match his blue theme. And I've had these forever. I think you can still find them on eBay under action figure shoes. So that's what I did, and I did it in the last 24 hours. I think I started her dress at about 2 o'clock, and I got that finished, and then I won't say I hemmed and hawed and dawdled and got distracted, because I did things like dinner, making it, and did I put away dishes? I think I put away dishes. So I did other stuff besides just procrastinate on making doll clothes yesterday. All the doll clothes I procrastinated making before. So now I just think it's interesting. We have very green and very blue. And I'm obviously just stalling for time now, and this is, I mean, you can tell before you load this that this is a very short video this week. So the kiddo will go back to school next week. Winter break will be over. I don't know if that's going to change what I'm going to do or not, because I'm trying not to go into thrift stores because I have so much stuff. You know, this is full of bodies, and this is full of, so this is full of articulated bodies. This is full of not articulated bodies, as well as parts of articulated bodies that I could put together to make new bodies or to modify other bodies. Below the desk are the boxes and below the desk is the trunk where I keep the bags of doll clothes and boxes of doll accessories, and also there's a box of doll heads as well as 2 other bags of doll heads. So I could probably sit down and make up a bunch of dolls even without the customizing stuff that I have not yet done. My gondola still doesn't have a face. And I have ideas still for patterns that I want to share. So I'm hoping I can get by. Well, okay. At the end of November, I realized I hadn't bought a doll or cloth since mid-November. So I decided then that I would see if I could go 3 months without buying dolls or cloth. So that will be Valentine's Day. That would be when the 3 months is up. So I'm hoping that I can make enough of a dent in my dolls and cloth by then that if I do buy more, I won't feel like it's this overwhelming flood of stuff that I have to work to get crammed into these boxes. But there's also possible by then I'll say, hey, I'm doing good at using stuff. Maybe I'll try another 3 months. I don't know. I probably could go the year without bringing any new doll stuff in. Although there is one doll that I am working on a trade with, but I started discussing this trade before mid-November. So that's okay. That's the same thing with Alsika. I got her in November after I decided I was going to try not to buy dolls because I had already months before started discussing purchasing her parts from someone. And I know I'm rambling again, and I hear the neighbor dog barking at something. So I'm hoping I can keep you entertained even without. I know a lot of you like seeing the stuff I find at thrift stores. I like seeing the stuff I find at thrift stores, but I'm hoping I'll be able to keep you entertained even if I don't go to thrift stores. But I'm really going to try not to go to thrift stores until Valentine's Day. After that, I might go back to my old ways and be thrifting constantly. I might not. We'll see. Hope you had a good New Year. I'm going to stop babbling now. Thanks for watching.